much that he was going to die, but I never thought it would be so soon. I kept thinking maybe he'll rise from the dead as he promised. He saw him raise Lazarus, but could he possibly raise himself? I still believe he was the Messiah. This was a great test of my faith. Sometimes faith means believing in something not yet seen.
I can't believe all that has happened in the last few days. We thought Jesus was the Messiah that we had all been waiting for, that I, Thomas, had been waiting for. But he died. 3 days ago, Jesus of Nazareth was put on a cross. He was put in a tomb belonging to Joseph. My friends, who along with me make up a group of his followers, came running to me just now, saying that they saw him alive. Impossible. They insist that it is true, but I don't believe it. They said that at first they thought it was a ghost, but then he showed them the wounds that he got when he was crucified. Holes in his hands, holes in his feet, as well as a wound in his side from a spear. They said they were still not sure he was a real human being, but he asked for some food. They gave him a piece of fish from their supper, and he ate it while they watched. It was then that they knew he really was alive. They came around to tell me, but I don't believe it. Once a man is dead, he is dead. I won't believe it again until I see him for myself, and I can put my fingers into his wounds.
It's a true miracle. The Master is risen and come back to us. I must admit, I would feel better if I had not said on the day that he was arrested that I did not know him. It was exactly what he had told me earlier that night at dinner, that I would deny him 3 times before morning. Me, Peter, one of his dedicated followers. But that's what I did. I was so ashamed. But since then, he has risen and appeared to us. I spent hours fishing last night with my friends, but we did not catch a single fish. We continued to fish all night with growling stomachs and empty nets. Just as the sun was rising, we saw a stranger on the shore. Who can that be? I thought. He asked us if we had any fish, to which the answer was still no. He told us to put our net on the other side of the boat. And to our amazement, it filled with fish, so many that we could hardly lift it. When we got closer to the shore, we realized that the man was not a stranger at all. It was our Lord Jesus.
Why are you looking for living among the dead? I asked the 2 women when they entered the tomb. The women were so pale, so afraid. I'm not sure why Jesus risen. The proof was right before their eyes.
Jesus has been killed. That was so hard for me. I loved him very much. If you had known him, you would have loved him too. He worried about the poor people and the orphans and the widows, people who were hungry or thirsty or sick or in prison. He loved me, Mary Magdalene. He loved both of us, didn't he, Mary?
Of course he did. We knew that. We had no doubt. And he allowed us to love him back. He taught us about love, but then he was taken and killed.
After waiting until the Sabbath was over, we came to the tomb as early as we could the next morning. We were bringing spices to anoint Jesus' body.
It was still dark, but we saw that the stone was taken away from the entrance and didn't know what to do. I thought what someone, maybe the religious leaders or the Romans, I didn't know, had stolen his body. We were so upset and confused. As we entered the tomb, we saw a young man dressed in a white robe sitting on the right side, and we were afraid. Don't be alarmed, he said. You're looking for Jesus, who was crucified. He is not here. He has risen. I ran with Mary to where Simon Peter and the others were hiding, and we said, Someone has taken the body. Come and look. Peter and John came running to the tomb. They saw where the stone was rolled away and went inside the tomb. The cloth we had used to wrap the body was there, but there was no body. It was gone.
The apostles left, but I stayed, weeping. Later, I saw a man. I thought he was the gardener. He asked me why I was crying, and I blurted out, They have taken away the body of my Lord, and I don't know where he is. Do you know where he is? And he said, Mary. And I recognized his voice. It was Jesus, alive. I ran again to where the disciples were, and I told them that I had seen him, and that he had spoken my name. But I don't think they believed me. Do you believe me?
After a short time later, I was taken up into heaven and sit at the right hand of God. I am resurrection and the life, and one who believes in me will live, even though they die. Blessed are they that have not seen and have believed. Will you believe and have everlasting life?
We believe.
We believe.
We believe.